Say what you will about boomers and Xers, and I'm an Xer for the record. When you've been around for a handful of decades, you start to see some real trends in society. And one that I'm referring to right now is what I see as our decline in civility, our lack of respect and care for one another. It is absolutely different now than when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s. And I grew up in a house of old fashioned manners. It was important to my folks that we be polite. It was a small way of showing love and respect for one another. And I do agree with that. And I do believe it's important stuff. Um, However, loving thy neighbor lately has become very challenging. And maybe I'm one of those neighbors that's hard to love at times as well. I certainly wouldn't doubt it. But I'm not tossing in the towel on myself or everybody else around me. And hopefully I can encourage you to do the same. First of all, I would suggest that you accept reality, but not give in to it. Understand that you can't control what's going on in culture. You can only control your own response to it. And I'm not talking about sugarcoating reality, but deciding what you allow to bother you and to not become what you despise, even when it's exhausting. And loving thy neighbor can also mean something different now than what it used to be. It might not be the warm and fuzzies and constant self sacrifice that it was probably originally intended to be, or at least people had um, at one time. But it means not responding to rudeness with more rudeness, taking a breather when somebody is cruel or rude. Cruel, maybe that deserves a response, but rude, I don't know. I think it's easier to blow off than we might give ourselves credit for. It also means giving genuine eye contact and smiles to people. Not in a creepy way, of course, but, just in a humanistic way, acknowledging people like I see you and I hope you have a great day and try not to let the world get to you. Sometimes those smiles can resonate with people for hours throughout the day. I know it has when somebody has done that to me. Um, there's also the importance of being present. Now, that's a key concept that I'm trying to live by and also to share with you all, at least to help everybody with. And I think it's crucial for us to be present, especially with kids, even when our phone is calling. Try to ignore it. The call can wait. They'll leave a message. You can get back to them. Not everything is urgent, but the people you're with deserve your priority in the moment. It's one of the reasons why I taught my kids to not have phones at the table or while we were watching movies. It can wait. It also means holding the door open for others, even when they might not even say thank you. Now, I've been guilty of saying thank you loudly as they've gone through when they haven't said thank you, offering them a hint. And sometimes they echo me, and sometimes they just keep walking, and that's okay. Practicing restraint, even when someone deserves a comeback. I think that's a real superpower to have. And you'll find that you'll feel stronger about yourself every time you do it. Another way to keep people at the forefront is to limit our exposure to cultural noise. Take a digital Sabbath, right? Maybe on a regular basis, one day a week. Don't don't watch any news. Don't scroll any news. No doom scrolling for a day. No screens, no phones. Well, phones is tough, but no social media. Can you do it? Give it a shot. I have done it. And, well, I don't know if I've done it for a full day, but I'm going to do it real soon. Um, Unfollow harsh voices, the people with the negative chatter, the cynics out there. And you know what? Follow instead people who are thoughtful, funny, wise, who make you want to be a better person. They will invigorate you. I guarantee it. This I have done, and it has made a huge impact in my life. And some of those people I've unfollowed have been friends and family. Um, Stand firm without getting cold. I still believe in having firm boundaries. That's a self protection kind of thing. And certainly don't take abuse. But don't let go of empathy either. You might need to keep it at arm's distance, but don't lose that care for other people. Don't let your heart get cold. And remember, people aren't always monsters. They might just be wounded. And we hear that a lot, and sometimes it's an excuse, but we never know what somebody's going through in their lives. And even if we're going through crap, and we all are on some level, just try to remember that everybody else around you has shit going on in their lives too. Um, Try to practice micro civility. I think in a world of keyboard warriors and public meltdowns, every small act of civility is like tossing a pebble into a pond. You don't always see the ripple, but it's there. And sometimes it will take effect in other people's lives. Speak someone's name. Look at the power of that when somebody says your name. Um, and hopefully it's in a good context. But try it. Not Don't be pandering and overuse their name, but here and there, give it a shot, especially somebody you've just met. And by the way, that's an easy way to remember somebody's name is to repeat it back to them when you've been introduced. Let a car merge. Now, I spend a lot of time on the road, and I really try hard to do that. And sometimes folks are excessively aggressive and trying to merge where they shouldn't be. And I've been guilty of closing that gap, but I am going to try to really let that go and let them, so to speak. Um, because I believe in karma and they'll get theirs. But it does me no good to risk myself in an accident or potential road rage incident or an a traffic violation and getting a ticket for that. Compliment a stranger. Again, it's it might be difficult to do in a non creepy kind of way, but when the occasion arises and you feel a genuine time to compliment somebody, like, hey, I see your kid is really well behaved. Good job, mom, or good job, dad. Uh, that could really lift somebody's day. and resist the urge to be right in petty disagreements. You know, my wife has a great saying, I'd rather be happy than right. And that's her way of telling me that she still feels she's right, but she's going to let it go. And she wants herself and us to remain happy. And that was a great lesson for me to learn. Um, so just know that you can build a shatterproof soul in a cracked society. And it might be tough, but when you work on it every day and you keep reminding yourself of these things, you can do it. So, loving people who are unlovable is the kind of work that really shapes character. And it may quietly change others' lives too.